guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Trainer Feed. My name is David Bravo. Here are my friends, my co-workers, my colleagues, Angel Sanchez and Jacques Delajeux.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, everyone?
I don't work with you anymore, though. I mean, that's not
Okay, all
wrong,
right, cool.
but I don't.
Um,
Anyway,
anyway, I hate you.
I'm not your
Anyway,
coworker.
anyway, um, today's topic is should women train differently than men? And this is a question that I've gotten a lot from a lot of clients. This is a question that I hear a lot of people try to answer. Um, and it could go both ways, right? It's like there are some people that have certain views on this, and then there are other people that have other views on it based on whatever research it is that they're looking at. I personally don't think there's a different way to train for each. I have heard out there, and I haven't read up on it, but I saw this is actually recent. This is like maybe like 2 weeks ago. I came across a TikTok, and this lady was talking about estrogen levels and hormones and how women, you know, um, keep fat in certain areas of their body. Therefore, they should not train more than 30 minutes because after 30 minutes, it begins to store fat. It was like I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was complete BS. But
bananas.
there are these videos that are circulating TikTok, and it's kind of like there are people that are very impressionable, and there are people that are not super familiar with training and working out, and there are people that are just searching for answers, and if they come across TikToks like this or any type of source of information that could be not the best source, and it could just be spewing out misinformation. So that, my opinion, that was a bullshit claim. I don't think that you should cap it at 30 minutes if you're a woman.
Where
If you're
is
a
that
woman,
even coming from? That's
yeah,
crazy.
it was just I don't understand it, and um, but yeah, I don't think there's a cap on. Okay, yeah, you only train 30 minutes because you're a woman, and there are people that have different types of lifestyles and lifestyle choices and time, right? Yeah, there may be people that for now can only dish out 30 minutes of just for themselves and they want to work out. And if that's the case, yeah, go work out for 30 minutes, make it, intense, keep it short and sweet, simple, keep to the basics. But not just because you're a woman. There are guys that can only train for 30 minutes too, and they could see great results, training 30 minutes every day. I don't know what your guys' point of view is on that, but mine is that no, there isn't. I don't think there's a difference between what you got to do if you're a guy or a girl.
I mean, men and women are from the same planet, right? Genetically, obviously the makeup's a little bit different, but we both genders. Yeah, I feel laughing from here. Both genders
I just
are
saw
No,
Angel's face. I'm
this is funny because you were
sorry.
saying they're from the same planet, but it's like you
Venus
said
and
this the
Mars,
other
man.
day with like the animals. When you have your own animal, it's like yeah, with that argument is just so general, like it's just so vague, right? Like, can you train a turtle the same way you would train David?
Probably.
Oh nah,
Turtle's probably smarter than David.
we're both the same speed.
Both from the same.
Turtle will go to
That's
school and complete
terrible.
it before David.
I
I
did read something though that cold-blooded animals don't age as or age is not a predictor of when they're going to die,
Huh. What
versus
is the predictor
warm-blooded.
then? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because us it's like chronological age. As we get older and older, it's more
Hmm.
likely that we'll just die. But it says the studies have shown that not is the same for cold-blooded animals. It's like turtles and alligators and all that stuff, which is
Snakes.
probably one of the reasons why you see those things are really old. Anyway, that was a segue. Fun
And
fact.
no, all to say that I think whatever gender we are, that we all come across the similar daily patterns we take our bodies through, whether it be walking, whether it be climbing, whether it be running, whether it be strength training, or even just raising kids. There's certain patterns that we see every day, and I don't think it's allocated to one gender more than the other. There's definitely stereotypes, And there's definitely demands different clients. Kind of, David, what you asked about people asking you this question. And I think it's common that if you have a female client come up to you and the first few things they think of or toning they want to work on are their glutes, their abs, and maybe toning their arms. And guys, they have often, not always, gone more top heavy, where they're not. There's very rarely guys that come in and talk about wanting to strengthen their glutes. Not that it's uncommon, it's just more so that guys want to have the bigger arms. And that might be a bit of a generalization, but I still think that has been the majority of requests when working on perfecting their ideal body type. So I'd say there's not different exercises needed, but it's more common that certain exercise or body parts are desired to be worked on depending on the gender. But ultimately, as we all know as trainers here, and if you're listening, you've kind of seen our theme as we take you through these episodes, that you don't just isolate one muscle in each exercise, or very rarely do you. You know, we talk about squats and deadlifts where you have to use multiple muscle regions to be able to facilitate the pattern. So it's, even if you did want to just work your arms, you're still working your core and your lower body in some aspects of it, I'm sure. That's just all I would say, is that it's not one or the other, but we have more of a focus depending on our gender. What about you, Angel?
Yeah, I think there's no such thing necessarily as a male exercise or a female exercise. It's just a way for people to make money. And just to target a different angle of the argument is that a lot of companies make money off of people feeling the need to emphasize certain muscle groups or train differently, right? Like I can write 2 articles as opposed to one, as opposed to saying like everybody needs to do this. I can say every 5 exercises that women need to do, 5 exercises that men need to do. Oh man, who's popular? It's David
Oh
again.
shit.
Thank you guys for sliding in David's DMs. Finally, this is the fruits of our labor. Um but yeah, so like people make money off that stuff, and that's why it becomes so beneficial for companies to kind of tap into that. And they'll sell products, market it for women, sell products, market it for men. Meanwhile, it's not necessarily something that needs to be separated, right? It doesn't really make that much sense to have people feel that they need to, you know, just train differently. Like Jacques said, we all have the same. We're all from the same planet, and we all have similar
To our
goals.
knowledge.
Right. Some would argue that actually.
Yeah.
You got the alien believers, reptilian believers. But no, I think I think we go through similar patterns. We're all Homo sapiens, right? And we're good at certain things, not so great at other things. And we just try to improve on what we need to improve, and that's about it. But it's a huge moneymaker, man. Like I'm telling you, it almost it's a shame that it is, but it's like it's one of those things that sometimes, or as a trainer, you have to figure out whether you're going to jump on board or not jump on board with, if you're going to feed into that hype. It's almost like that whole body dysmorphia hype as well. Like if you want to feed into it, it makes a lot of money, and it makes money fast, but it's more of like an ethical thing. Similarly, I feel like drawing lines between gender for the basis of exercise is one of those things that you need to kind of like figure out early in your career before because people will hit you with those questions, and rightfully so. That's what they consume. That's what they like learn. That's what they read. That's what they
So they
see.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't necessarily help when some of these celebrities make those articles about these are the workouts that I do in order to look like Wolverine or in order to look like Captain America or something like that, because
They
then it feeds
sell.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are like, that's what a real man should look like, which is ridiculous because it's obviously a comic book superhero, right? So,
Well, did you watch the newest Thor? I haven't watched it yet, but did
no.
you? So, Natalie Portman is the female Thor, right? And I didn't realize her arms, maybe call me naive, they were CGI to make them look bigger. I thought,
Mm,
really? Maybe she didn't want to get bigger, I don't know the story behind it, but just
mhm,
just to put things into perspective, that the screen
mhm.
and what is real life, aren't always
Yeah.
identical. So just to take that with a grain of salt, if anyone's listening or watching this, the because those requests do come about, they want to, as you
Yeah.
say, look like a super. But like I said, they're a superhero or they're a cartoon,
Right.
um, and also these people that have trained for these roles have probably at some point had nothing but training to do for the roles. So
Mm-hmm.
most people listening to this have everyday lives and jobs where we can't, unfortunately, have the time and luxury of being able to just focus on training to increase our size or condition for
Yeah.
a role. So don't forget that too. You know, that's something people forget.
And they also like, it goes back to the I'm sure there are words. I'm just not woke enough to think of all these words, but there are prototype male and female. I guess you would call it like an archetype, but I'm thinking about the physiological, or the physiological aspect, or um I'm trying to the aesthetic component of
Mm,
that archetype, where a female would have like a slimmer waist, and then like big hips, and the men would have like small waist or a thicker waist, but
right.
six pack, and like a big chest or a broad chest and a big back, big shoulders, things like that. And people just try to fit into that. And then it also causes, it feeds into body dysmorphia, because then it also shows like when you have certain athletes who are female and they're more muscular, some of the comments that they get is that they look like a man. Vice versa, if you're a leaner guy, they say, you look like a girl, or you look like a woman, or you're
Mm,
smaller than my girlfriend, or something like that, which also leads into body dysmorphia. So it's just, it's a never ending cycle when it comes down to that. So I would say to coaches that are on the fence or thinking about, hey, I want to say, I think that women should do these exercises. I think men should do these exercises. Should really think about what the implications are further down the road, because it's easy to do that just for, you know the person who just wants to get big arms just for a wedding, or get big arms because they're going for a movie or a photo shoot, and then just say like these are like top 5 exercises all men should do. But just thinking about how that affects people in the long run, I think is also helpful as well.
right. Yeah,
But
I think short-lived focuses, kind of what you mentioned, whether it be a wedding, whether it be a shoot, I think those can be some more reasonable approaches if the demand is extreme for that short term. But I think it just goes back to the original point we've made in previous episodes where everything just takes time and it depends. And you know, I never forget Anthony Jokes, one of our first guests, he had a client ask him about physical wealth, and
mm-hmm,
he reflected the question as, okay, well, how long did it take you for this financial wealth?
mm-hmm,
Could I do it in 2 to 4 weeks? And he laughed. And that was
mm-hmm,
kind of the way I thought that was a great analogy to communicate with your client about the reality of how long it takes for such physical wealth.
yeah,
And that's just how it is in most things in life. Yes, you can get lucky, you can kind of hit some moments, but for the most part, it's gotta be earned and it's gonna be worked for.
yeah,
But just really in closing, I suppose that there is no specific exercises, but you may find exercises that are more popular with
mm-hmm,
certain genders or certain body types, right?
yeah,
I think the bottom line is as long as you find yourself moving, staying active, and as we've also mentioned, the 4 quadrants in
mm-hmm.
previous episodes, trying to hit patterns of all 3 planes of motion and trying to be pretty well rounded by that. But I don't know if anyone else had any closing thoughts on this.
Yeah, I want to say, just having the wherewithal to, just be mindful of how you talk to your clients, how you communicate with your clients, because then you'll have, let's say a male client that wants to focus on getting a bigger butt, and you're going to turn around and say, "Oh, wow." And then they're going to say, "What, why did you react that way?" Right? Like, even on a subconscious level. Similarly, you can have a woman client and they'll say, "I want bigger arms," or "I want bigger traps." And you're like, "Oh, wow." Or "That's surprising," right? Like, it's little things like that that I hear, newer trainers go through all the time. And I'm just like, dude or dudette, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's just little things like that that kind of, get me annoyed. But I get it. I'm more PC than most people, for better or for worse. But I know what it's like to have my feelings hurt. and so I don't like to put that onto others.
That's fair.
Other people just don't care, and that's, I guess
That
that
too.
is what it is. Anywho, we'll wrap it up. Please continue to use our Roan code. So our code for Roan for 20% off is the trainer feed, all one word.
They got a new button up shirt apparently,
Yeah, that button up shirt is good.
Great if we had one.
Did you give it to David? David,
My friend, my guy never asked
Oh.
me for one. I told
Oh.
you if you want something, you let me know. You don't
Okay.
send me it. What am I supposed to read your mind?
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
that's fine.
told you, my friend, I help you out with shorts.
But it's fine.
All right.
The
Well,
same guy that came in sweatpants in the heat, sweating there. Like, I don't have any more shorts. Like, I'll get you some shorts. You let me know.
Oh,
oh,
fine.
the Roan is going. Oh, well, by the time this goes out, it won't be available anymore, so I won't say it. But definitely the trainer feed, all one word, 20% off at Roan. And yeah, we'll catch you all in the next episode.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye.